Hey everyone, we are the Real Estate Chics coming to you again from Barrington, Illinois. I'm Kathy Pincus at RE/MAX of Barrington.
And I'm Judy Gibbons with RE/MAX of Barrington.
And today we're going to talk about sort of two talking heads in the...
Yeah, where's that?
two great big great gurus of finances, and one is Susie Orman, she's fabulous in her own right.
Yes.
Chicago, University of Illinois gal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
And the other one is Warren Buffett. I'm not. Did he even graduate from college?
I don't know.
I don't know. I should know that, but I don't. Maybe
Right.
we can get our assistant to Google that.
Yeah.
But anyway, those two, they have very different approaches, and I think they're both very interesting. You can, follow one or the other, or take a slice of each.
Mm-hmm.
But Susie Orman is not a fan of buying a house in the near future.
Well, she's not our friend anymore.
Susie, what's wrong with you? Come with the Real Estate Chics. Come
Yeah.
join our show. We'll show you that home ownership, you know what? It's not so bad.
No.
Don't buy into all this really tough. I'm all for tough love, believe me. But,
I think she might get a little jaded because so many times she's speaking with people that are calling in or
Right.
whatever, and
That's a
they've
good
just
point.
made so many bad decisions.
Yes.
And, should I do this, or should I spend $100,000 on my wedding, or should I pay my credit cards off? I mean, that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
right.
So, okay,
I'm
so
going to go with B, pay your
Yeah,
credit
right.
cards off. I mean, that's what, you're right, because she gets these people that
Yeah.
that have made so many
right, not
really
just one,
stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody would know that, but she will get that question.
Yep.
And, golly. I just had that talk with someone on my way in here.
Oh,
just
my
about
gosh.
on my phone with a family member, shall we say. And you know
No
what?
names.
You just have to do what you can afford, and sometimes you have to afford the small things and work up to the bigger things.
Right. And that's what Warren Buffett is saying. He believes in home ownership is still the American dream. It's still the way to go. It's still a great write-off. But be modest in your in your house. Don't go for the big
Right.
McMansion. He's still living in the same house he bought 51 years ago. I
How
cannot
about
believe
that?
it.
So he paid it off, and then he did graduate from college, by the way.
Yes, we were finding
And
out.
he graduated from, just flash it up here.
2 years at Wharton. 2 years at
Oh.
Wharton, and then University of Nebraska Lincoln.
Well, there you
Wow,
go.
I bet they have a nice little scholarship
I
from
bet they
him.
do. I bet there might be a building or two. Well, he doesn't do that though, so I don't know.
Oh,
That'd be interesting to find out too.
that would be.
Perhaps a little more studying on my part before I got into. But anyway, sorry, Warren. You know what? Though, all kidding aside, he really is such a cool guy.
Oh.
And I actually, because I used to be in the furniture business, he owns now Nebraska Furniture Mart. So if you go to Nebraska Furniture Mart, which is as big as a city block,
Oh my gosh.
and that they get around with a golf cart.
No
Peter would
way.
love to shop
Oh,
there.
God. Yeah, that would be his kind of
That
shopping.
would be his kind of shopping.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
her husband loves to golf.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the chick does too.
Yeah.
So anyway, but Warren Buffett says, home buying today is the best investment that you can make as long as you do a good job of doing something that you can afford.
Right.
And that's what got so hokey in
Yeah.
all these, the
Everybody just like, I've got this much equity in my house,
Right.
and now I'm going to either borrow against it or I'm going to move up to a bigger house. I won't have
Right.
any furniture, but I'm
Yeah.
going to buy that bigger house, and I'm going to,
Yeah.
buy another one,
And keep on going, and that's just, that was the house of cards. So
Mhm.
Judy and I think that real estate investment is still, get out there, purchase. Because as we said, things are they're very low numbers now. It's going to be like
Still
this for
great
a while.
interest rates.
Great interest rates.
And so you get to buy a lot more house that
Right.
you would have a couple years ago, even
Right.
when the interest rates were 8%. So we're now at about 5.
And you can still write off that, and that to me is a key thing. You
It
can
is.
write the mortgage off on your taxes.
Mhm.
So big thing to think about.
Right.
So another thing that that they were talking about is, they're talking about instead of do a fixed rate on a
Yes.
mortgage, don't do an adjustable rate.
Correct. do that, and then, you're set. You know what your payment is
Right.
every month.
Right.
And then, a couple shows ago, we did talk about having a housing budget for things where you might need to, fix some things up
Yeah.
or do some additional landscaping. Just like you save for your vacation,
Right.
You save for things that need to be done in the house.
Right. And if something in the house breaks before you take the vacation, sometimes
Yeah.
you have to go in the other fund.
Gosh,
That's a
I
bummer.
hate when that
I know.
happens. It's
But it
just
does. It does. But if you have everything covered, and what else does he?
Well, he says, buy it and hold it.
Oh, yes, right.
Just don't think, people will ask us, oh, if I'm only going to live here for 2 years, 3 years. No, not a good idea. Then rent.
No.
If
Yeah,
you
then
don't
rent.
know, but just say, listen, this is a minimum 5 years.
Right.
Minimum.
Right.
So the ideal would be the 15.
Yeah, or 52 like Warren
Oh
did.
gosh, I'd love
So-
to see that house.
Oh my gosh, it's very people would think it's a humble home,
Sure.
but it's it's what he could afford, and if he's been there 52 years, he's paid that off 20 years
Oh
ago.
my gosh.
Somehow the Pinkuses are not doing it that way.
What's that like? Paid off mortgage.
Paid off. I just paid off a car, and I thought I was a rock star.
Woo! Living life.
Yeah, boy, woohoo! So anyway, how about some sassy quotes from us, Miss Pink Purple
Okay.
Chick?
And it's brought to us by Abernook.com. And then today is like just kind of a little ditty. It says, "Life is simple. It's just not easy."
Amen to that. Thanks again for joining us. We are the Real Estate Chicks. Check us out on Facebook, The Real Estate Chicks, or go to our website, therealestatechicks.com. And thanks so much for joining us, everyone.